All right. Today is our fourth step of self-healing method. And as I always say, we'll start with a little pause to be present in the moment, to feel where you're at, to open your heart and your mind to our conversation today. Starting to really think about where you're at so you can be present and not concerned with everything else that's happening around you. You're giving yourself the moment to heal. So today, um, we'll talk about the fourth step. It's, to me, has been one of the hardest step that experienced I've been experiencing this week. If you are a close friend and you're watching, you know that I just lost my brother 2 days ago, and I'm healing. So stay with me. I was actually thinking when I was working on this um, presentation for today, this talk today, I was thinking, can I actually even do it? And then I heard a voice kind of telling me, hide your pain and serve. Because by giving love, you are also receiving the love you need in order to heal your own pain. So here I am with you. I hope I can go through this whole talk today, talk about everything that I have prepared for you and don't melt in between. So hopefully it will work. Reminding you, if this is not any type of a medical treatment, this is a complement to help you with any treatment you're doing. So do not stop any medical treatment. And if you need help, make sure you seek services. So the step 4, it's cultivate love. It's very interesting. I don't know how this project it's going on with you in your life, but it I feel like everything was planned for me. And particularly this is step 4, and we'll talk about how it works and you'll understand what I mean. Uh, so cultivate love. The first thing I wanna introduce you is to the idea that you have to be your own therapist. In this process, you are the therapist and you are also the patient. You have to step outside yourself, look the things that are happening around you, evaluate yourself, evaluate the processes, and then think about the strategies to improve whatever you're going through. So you are at the same time the therapist, the patient, and the one creating the new story of your life. So make sure you have this kind of eyes when we are going through the steps this week. And this project this week, which is the step 4, cultivate love, is really about potentialize your soul with divine habits. So this step will help you start observing the nature of your environment that you live, and your body is part of it. So we're gonna kind of look into ourselves and think about what I am creating for my environment. And it says that it is important to give in order for you to receive. We often think, well, I'm ill, I'm sick, I'm the one who needs to receive. I can't donate or give because I'm the one in need. And this week is really a challenge of how we think usually regarding the problems we have in life. It's a pledge to ask you to give independent of where you're at in life. Right? So you see, now you start seeing what I mean, right? Because I'm feeling like at this point I can't give. And I'm creating a presentation that really tells me to hide my pain and serve. So it's very convenient uh, to have this particular step during this week. It's like every week that I'm going through this presentation, I'm kind of really facing a challenge that makes me practice exactly what I'm saying here. It's a very interesting process. I don't know how this was planned, but even the dates are very accurate, right? So again, we're gonna challenge you how we think, no matter the amount of pain that you have. We're gonna ask you to actually give and donate love. And the reason why is because love is a flow. There's a little story that I love to tell the children when I'm working with them. And then I will tell you a little reversed this time. So you have this boy who was having a major issue with another boy at school who was bullying him, and then he was upset. And he got home, and the father said, and he told his father, I'm really angry. I really want to hit him. I really want to be mean. And he's like, he's saying some very intense negative words towards the boy. And the dad very wisely said, okay, I want to do something, an experiment with you. So he went outside. He hung a white sheet and got the boy about 50 feet away from the white sheet that was hanging, and gave him a bag with chalks. So, and then said, now the dad told the boy, said, you're gonna imagine that white sheet over there is the boy. And every time that you're angry and anything you want to tell him, you're gonna grab one, chocolate, and then two, and try to hit the white sheet. And then the boy did, and then it slowly, after got all his anger out and he was feeling a little better. And then the father came back and said, let's look what happened. And then he looked the sheet, and they had like a little here and there, but most of the chocolate were on the floor. And then the father asked the boy, now look at yourself. Look at yourself. And the boy was all dark, in the hands and the clothes, everything. And the father said, when you hold this anger towards anybody and you want to hurt someone, even though you might here and there hit this person, you are the one who retains the most amount of negativity, and all the things you're sending to someone, you will receive 100% of that, and the other person will receive a percentage of it. So now bring it to our conversation here. Is the same way. The more you give love, the more you are filled with love. Because in order for you to give, you have to fill yourself up with that one first. It's the same idea. And that's why this week we are talking about cultivating love. It's really not about receiving love. It's about giving to others the love we have in us. So often we we think like that, and that's why there's one of my major challenges I'm having this week is that we strike. We go on love strike when somebody doesn't give us love back, or we feel ignored. We feel like we give, and we don't receive anything back. And then we get intoxicated with this sorrow, hate, intolerance, and we fight because we are not loved or appreciated by our loved ones the way we wish we were. So when we give something, we give hoping that we're going to receive back. But this is the challenge here for this week. It's the ability to give love without expecting anything in return. It's challenging because we tend to want to receive. And Lucia, who's originally came up with this project, she talks about many things that we do in love we really don't do in the name of love. We really do in the name of love of ourselves, because we're expecting people to be thankful for what we did, to give us something in return. And this is not real love, because when you have real love, you're not expecting anything in return. So for example, if you cook something and you people are not thankful for the food you cooked, and they don't like or they don't say anything, the cook itself, the process of putting it together and putting your love in it, it should be already your return, not what other people will give to you. So does that make sense? I know it's a little challenging, and I'm particularly going through this challenge that, this week of trying to be able to give and continue giving love without any return. And sometimes when you're in a good place mentally, I would say it's much easier. But when you feel that your strengths sometimes might not be at the best place, and then you hope to have something back and you don't get it, so that really can be very challenging. So I want you to think about this process as a sequence of steps, because we won't be able to overnight change our behaviors completely and we start loving everybody and everything without expecting anything back. So we're going to practice on a regular basis, and we'll think like, imagine that you have a long pipe, right, that is under the weather for a while and accumulating dirt inside. When you start putting water inside of this pipe, what's going to happen? The first layer of water that comes, it's going to be dark. So when you start practicing your love, in the beginning, it's not going to look like love. But that's what you continue putting water inside of the pipe. And as you continue putting clean water, eventually the whole dirt, it will fade. The water is going to start coming cleaner and cleaner. And as you continue adding clean water, the pipe will be completely clean and the water is going to be clean as well. So don't feel bad if in the beginning you can't really give everything that you think you should be giving. Also, I want you to think about love as a flow, right? And then, because you may asking, why is that important? So imagine that a river, right? This beautiful flow, clean river that is, taking this water and continue moving. In this beautiful place, you will have plants growing, you will have fish swimming and other animals and life growing in there. And this is when love flows. When you give love, the love is flowing, and that's what you see in life. However, imagine a place where you have stagnated water, right? And there, days and days, it starts to smell, it starts to maybe grow some bugs in it, some flies, and it doesn't look good. So with love, it's the same way. You can't wait until you receive love in order to flow or flush out everything that is wrong in there. You have to be that source of love, and by having it, you will clean your own pipes and you're going to open up to the healing that you deserve. So let love renew you. Open your doors and let love enter your life and your being. Channel love in all directions, because love is the most powerful energy in the universe. There's nothing that can stop love. And one of the things that I I love to think is, when we hate, when we are angry, this is really love that became ill. Because in order for you to have a major anger or hate, love has to exist at first. And I'll give you an example. Imagine that somebody on the street passed by you and tell you, "Oh, you are disgusting." You're gonna look at this person and say, "This person is crazy," right? But then you go home and your partner or your parent or your child, looks at you and say, "Oh, you are disgusting." Now, what's your feeling? While the first one, you didn't have any feelings towards this person, so whatever they said, you just like you ignored. That wasn't important. Now, when somebody you love says something like that to you, then really hurts. It really hurts you, because there is love present, and then that love sometimes can become ill. So we are going to use now this week to really renew this love and overcome all those barriers that are stopping your flow, your love to go through and channel throughout all directions. And we're going to do that with few steps. First thing I'm going to ask you to do is practice forgiveness, which is not the same as forgetting, right? So you won't forget something. You know it happened. Whatever that made you angry or upset, it happened. But forgive. Don't allow that to eat you alive. Just think to yourself, I'll let it go, and I will send love to whatever it is that it's really hurting me at this moment. Send love, whatever it is. It can be an illness in your body. It can be someone who hurt you. Could be, a friend, a partner, something that happens that is driving you crazy and bringing you down. You're going to send love this week. Something else you're going to do, you're just going to value your today. You're going to value right now. For the whole week, you're going to practice valuing your now. Pay attention to what you have right now and value whatever that is. We tend to live in the past or in the future. And you really want to make sure you live right now and you are grateful and thankful and value what you have. We tend to value things that we lose. Once we lose, then we realize how wonderful that thing was to us. So let's just start practicing valuing it right now. And I'm going to ask you to ask yourself this week, every day, 4 questions. What can I do today to practice self-love? So you're going to ask yourself, what can I do today? Maybe I can take myself to the movie. Maybe I can enjoy the smell of flowers. I can, eat something I enjoy, talk to someone I love. Ask yourself, what can I do today to work on my own self-love? That's the first question. The second question, what can I do today for love of my family? Think about that day, one thing you can do for the love of your family. You can forgive someone. You can help someone. You can cook a beautiful meal. You can listen to someone who you're tired of listening. Somebody sometimes that maybe, get you upset. Instead, listening to reply, just listen with love to accept whatever the person is. So you're going to practice and ask yourself every day, what can I do for the love of my family? The third question is what can I do for the love of my house and my things? And it's important to think about without attachment, right? So it's not for you to connect desperately to an object. No. It's about loving what you have and caring for your have. For example, if you have that clothes that it doesn't fit you for the last 10 years because you're waiting to lose weight to get into the clothes, let it go. Open your space, clean up your house. If you need paint in your house, if you don't like the color, if you just let it go of the things that you don't need and love your house and care and organize. So you're going to ask yourself, what can I do for love of my house and the things that I have? Keep in mind without attachment to the things. And finally, the last one is, what can I do to give love to humanity? And that's what I'm practicing right now with you today. At the moment that I feel like I need to be loved because of the challenges I'm going through right now, I'm trying to hide my own pain and work on things to give love to humanity. So think about today and every day of this week as practicing cultivating love. What can you do to give love to humanity? Okay. Now, this is what we had today. Summary. Basically, this week is be open to love independently of how much love you receive. Because through this love you're giving to others, you are cleaning your own pipes, flushing clean water, clean love, where you will use your own body, will use this love to start healing you. So homework for this week, we're gonna get everything together. So we said you're still gonna work on your individual project, meditation, prayers, journaling, connecting with people. You're going to practice tuning and listening to a higher power. You're going to make sure you have a plan to care for yourself, for your body, physical body, as we discussed last week. And finally, you're going to practice giving love this week, and you're going to ask those 4 questions that we had just discussed. So if you think that this is something beneficial to you or to somebody else, connected to our channel, like our channel, so you can keep receiving updates. Also share this link with somebody else who could benefit from this program. Remember to give lots of love. I also will post below the video other links for you to get some additional resources. And if you have questions, if you have comments, please write below. I would love to hear some feedback. I'm sorry if today I'm like not at my best. I am healing, but I'm hoping that at the same time I'm healing, I'm also giving you the love that I have in my heart. Great, great, great kiss to you. Have a beautiful week, and thank you for staying with us today and for working your self healing. Good night.